Hello and welcome to today's review of the Transformers Dark of the Moon Human Alliance Basics Halftrack. Now, this guy, I have to say, he is definitely one of my favourite robot modes in this whole little subline. Now, as I've established before, I only have 7 of the 8 unique mods. I don't have reverb, so sadly, my opinion on that, it's kind of up in the air, because as much as I say this might be one of my favourite robot modes, it's also to do with how it functions in robot mode, you know. Whereas if I look at reverb, I'll put a photo up on screen, you know, I look at that and go, okay, it looks really cool, but how does it work? You know, I can't tell you how it works, and I can't formulate a proper opinion on it because I've never had one. Still kind of taking a break from trying to get one right now, but man, that's gonna be trouble. Now, anyway, as for this guy, yeah, it just visually he's really cool. I definitely like the color scheme. It's like this kind of pearlescent-y, whitey color. I think more so than the very like clear, pristine white that Icepick uses. This is kind of more marble work top, you know, with especially with the greys and stuff on the wheels. It's really cool, and he's even got this like I guess this Nest Daredevil Squad logo or whatever. I'm like, that's really cool, you know. It's an Autobot with a beret, and yeah, he just looks sick, you know. He's got the roll cage kind of forming little chest parts, I don't know. And then he's got the back section that kind of just sits on the back. You know, that sucks a little bit, but what are you going to do, right? Personally, I would have loved if they had like put a little like a joint or whatever on each of these bars so they could fold up and sit more flush. It'd still have a very slight backpack, but it's perfectly fine for, you know, a tenner or whatever. Now, onto the articulation for this guy. We're going to talk about detailing as we get around to it. The shoulders, now, they are kind of locked into place here on this little hinge, but they're going to spin all the way around. They're going to go up that much. They're not going to hit 90, which sucks, but it's just kind of the way the joint is assembled. Like, if you will go further up, the arm pops off. That definitely sucks, but oh well. Elbows go about 90 degrees. The wrist hinges upwards due to the fact it's part of the transformation. I will count it though because it is practical for the robot mode. And then we have a bicep swivel, or in this case, an elbow swivel, all because of ball joints. You know, every ball joint can be a swivel and all that. Same on the other side, and the head is going to turn left and right all the way around. Oh, crikey. Bit difficult when I've not got like giant hands or fingers or whatever, like sausage fingers, but you know, it's just, these are really small and my hands aren't child hands, so it's a bit difficult. Anyway, there's a bit of wiggle from left to right, and then tiny bit down, tiny bit up, you know. It's pretty negligible, but it's there. Then this guy, I think this is crazily, I think this is the first Human Alliance figure that I've reviewed so far in this subline with a waist. I'm all for it. Like, yes, I don't care if the waist, like, didn't even go round all the way. It's a waist. And there the arm goes. I'm not knocking points. Ball joints are ball joints. Things like that happen, and at least it's not loose, so I'm not going to knock it for falling off. Leg kicks up that much. Knee kicks in at 90, like so. Toe bend like that, right? And then you've got an ankle pivot. Absolutely brilliant. And then finally this toe will fold up. So I mean, more it's like a foot bend going upwards. And then finally, does he have a thigh swivel? No, not really. Sorry. You know, there's a bit of wiggle because it's on a ball joint, like so. But yeah, it's actually really cool, you know. It's a very nice midway point between the ones that don't articulate well, like Thunderhead and Backfire, and then you've got Icepick and Whirl on the end, which are like 9s and 10s. I think this is like very solid, and he definitely gets the job done. He's as articulate as any average Transformer, you know. He's got all the points besides the vice swivel, and I'm all for it. So just gotta put him here and jump straight into our robot mode size comparison. So here we have Dark of the Moon Voyager Ironhide, Dark of the Moon Deluxe Q, Human Alliance Drag Strip, Ralph, Steve. Now this is cool, you know, I'm perfectly happy with it. He's a bit smaller than Drag Strip, as is basically every other Human Alliance Basics figure. Also, here's a human. This is not the correct human for Halftrack. This is for G. Who was it for? It's for one of the other ones. Sorry, I don't. Oh yeah, this is for Whirl. Right now, we are getting on a bit with the time on this, but just to point out, I will show this with Halftrack and vehicle mode just as a placeholder, because Halftrack is one of the ones where I found him loose really cheap while I was out at a like boot sale or whatever, and I wasn't able to get any of the accessories, so I've got no human, no C-clip gun, but it's perfectly fine. So this guy, right, we go straight into a transformation. You go fold the wrists up like so. Also, we're gonna come back into our original zoom level. There you go. Make it nice and clear. Go do all of this stuff. Go swing the shoulders back. Okay, doke. I'll bring that round. Rotate at the waist. Then you're gonna collapse the legs. Hold up a sec. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Because these arms, sorry, off camera. Okay, these tabs are gonna go in here. But once you fold everything together, fold that round, bring the arm in. Tab it in. There you go. Right, so we have part of the vehicle. Bring the legs up, like so. Fold the feet in. Jesus, this is going off the rails. That's alright, a little bit of chaos, never hurt anyone. We're gonna take these feet, giant old clonkers, put them like so, kind of level everything out, right? And you're gonna bring this section down. This is gonna become like the base buggy, you know. There you go, brilliant stuff. You gotta take the head, just kind of forget the head exists for the time being. Fold that over the head. Now you gotta line these little nubs up with the roll cage, the bottom half of it at the bare minimum, and then yeah, that's what you're working with. Cute little buggy. I'm all for it, you know. This is very unique. It's a very different kind of buggy to what we'd expect in Transformers, you know. Some of the only other buggies are Sure Shot from G1 and Beachcomber also from G1. Neither of them do anything like this, but I'm all for it. You know, it's a unique shape, nice color scheme of the kind of a, it's not petrol blue, but yeah, petrol blue is an actual color. It's like a weird grayish blue. I swear there's a Lego shade similar to it. But yeah, he seats Halftrack, right? He seats a human really well, and I'm all for it. So yeah, generally really cool stuff. Here you can really notice the painted headlights, these bits which are on the chest. They're really cool. Yeah, painted exhausts. All for it. Head hides away nicely. Like, I think that's fine, because you're not seeing it much. And you do have to kind of tab this section into here, little blue nubs. All for it. Definitely brilliant stuff. And as well, pinned wheels, so they roll. And that's excellent. So, for the alt mode size comparison, here we have Alternator Swindle, Lego Car, Human Alliance Tailpipe, Ralph, Steve. Now, I'm happy with this. It is a Dune Buggy kind of thing, so I'm perfectly okay with how it scales with the Lego car, you know. It's a good bit smaller, but they're kind of equatable in size, in scale, like this, so whatever. It's fair, you know, and the bike, this will be the last review. He's taller, and it's definitely not accurate, but whatever, you know. They're all the same size class, so if the toys themselves are a similar size to one another, I can forgive it, you know. Now, for my overall thoughts and the final rankings on this guy, aesthetics on this guy are a 10. I love both modes. I love the color scheme. I love the robot aesthetic. Just kind of how everything positions itself, even with the legs having the wheels on, the arms or shoulders having the wheels on, like, it's perfectly okay, you know. I like being able to look at a transformer and go, so that transforms. And then if I can look at it, it's got a cool, like, kind of cleared up robot mode, but I can also say, oh, that's what you transform into. It's like very good parts management, you know, and that's what I think this is. Now, so we're giving the aesthetics a 10 because I think both modes are brilliant and I love the way it handles everything. For the articulation, it's definitely like this nice middle ground between the lesser articulate Human Alliance figures and the higher end of the spectrum being Ice Pick and Whirl. I definitely think this is maybe an 8 on that scale, you know, given size class and whatnot. It's comparative to one another. Now, transformation on this guy, it's not a terrible process, you know. It's very straightforward, very simple. It's on the simpler end of all of these. It's a 7. It's just good, you know. It's not crap. It's not the best thing in the world, you know. It's not the best thing since sliced bread or whatever, but it's good and it gets the job done. And then finally, value for money. Unfortunately, like I mentioned, I don't have the original figure that came with this or the gun at this time, but solid, you know, definitely something to praise. I'm giving it a 7, you know, it's just good. Can't complain with it. And much like the other Human Alliance figures, there's playability here, you know. And I'm gonna ignore the third mode for this one. We'll cover him in a short, purely because I don't think it's an awful lot of anything. So, yeah, there's that. But overall, he is very solid and I like him. This has been AnimatedCHUG. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.